In my last cooking video I did a couple of months ago, I went deep inside the culinary world of Kenshi, exploring its diverse array of dishes, bringing fictional food into our real world. The video itself was very well received, lots of positive comments, very nice feedback, but also quite the constructive feedback. One thing stood out in particular. I don't know what I was expecting, but out of all the dishes I did not expect the majority of people to question my approach onto how I cook the rice. The one most simple dish out of all the 8 dishes I made in that video. You see, I cooked the rice like you would cook spaghetti. Bring water to a boil, put in your rice, cook for 10 minutes, pour off excess water, and done. Except no, not done. Apparently this is the equivalent of drowning a newborn kitten. I was kind of confused because I've been cooking rice like this for years now. I mean, I am fully aware of the so-called right way of cooking rice, where you put rice into a pot together with the necessary amount of water for it to absorb everything without the need of getting rid of excess water. I sometimes use this method too, you know. I really liked that one comment where someone said I should just look at the instructions on the backside of the rice packaging. Well guys, that's what I absolutely did. And this is where my interest into this topic started to spark. I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I've been cooking my own food for years now, and seeing something like this, something so simple, getting so much attention, I needed to know what the hell is going on. So I bought some more rice from the convenience store. And yes, this is rice from a German store. I am Germany. Here we have some real German, gut und günstig basmati rice. If you don't believe me, you can translate it yourself too. But the instruction on the back of the rice packaging are as follows. Put a cup of rice into half a liter of lukewarm water, bring it to a boil and cook it for 10 to 12 minutes. Get rid of the excess water with a sieve or a strainer and you're done. Also, if you like, you can put a bit of butter on it. Personally, I've never done that before. So nothing about cleaning the rice, nothing about absorbing the water. Maybe it's just bad rice, like poor quality, cheap garbage brand. So I picked a more expensive one too. Premium Spitzenreis, the Ferrari among the rice brands. Same thing. A little bit more detailed than the other one, but overall the same thing. Same procedure, cooked like pasta, and they're doing this atrocity since 1976. So this is what German rice looks like. How about let's take a look now at some rice I bought from Amazon. This time I made sure it's actual rice from an Asian country. Here we have now AAA quality long grain rice from Bethesda Game Studios. No, from Vietnam. So actual real Asian rice. And here are the cooking instructions for the pot. Wash the rice thoroughly with clean water, then cook the rice with circa the same amount of water and salt until it evaporates. Holy shit! Here we have it! So why is it now that our instructions are so weird compared to other ones outside of Germany or even most European countries? I don't want to go too deep into it, but after doing some research on the internet, it's mostly that the varied approaches to cooking rice in Asia and Europe are deeply rooted in cultural, agricultural, and just historical factors. For example, for one, there are places in the world where rice is literally dirty, where it has to be cleaned and prepared before you can even cook it. That explains why you would need to wash the rice. The rice we get here in Europe is already clean and should not have any type of bugs or stones in it. Well, I hope so at least. So I'd say it's more of a personal preference if you want to wash your rice or not. If you want to have more or less starch on your rice, depending on what rice you buy, of course. Also, if you're cooking Italian risotto rice, you're not allowed to wash it. Leaving the natural starch on the grain is what helps it to absorb the broth and is what makes it rich and creamy in the first place, giving it its unique properties. So it also depends on what type of rice you have. And on the other hand, cooking rice like pasta is just plain and simple A way where you can relax about exact measurements. There is no need to rinse the rice because you essentially achieve that by draining the water after it's cooked. And for those without rice cookers or who haven't mastered the rice cooking technique, this method is just more foolproof. A way to cook rice for people without skill or a brain. No, I'm joking. You know what? You know what we're gonna do now? I know in the end it's all about preference, but I think to make this a little bit more interesting and bring this debate to a final end, let's compare the different ways of cooking rice and see which one is the best. Which one is the perfect way to cook rice. I will take things like taste, texture, and the time it takes to cook the rice into consideration. Also, since I'm more of a convenient guy, the less I have to clean afterwards, the better. So, here we go. After comparing all the different ways of cooking rice, with or without cleaning, with steam or without steam, with pasta, without pasta, I finally have the verdict. And the best way of cooking rice, the absolute perfect way to prepare your rice is bagged rice. Yes, easy and simple. All you have to do is to take your already conveniently portion-sized plastic bagged rice out of its packaging and put the bag into some boiling water. The bag, as you can see, has small little holes on the side, so water can easily come through. No need for cleaning, no need for measuring, no need for thinking. Just let it boil for 10 minutes. After that, you're already done. All you need to do now is to carefully rip open that plastic bag, and all that's left is some perfectly cooked rice. And it tastes delicious. The taste, the texture, the flavor. Finally, the world is at peace once again. An over 1,000-year-old debate can now come to an end. My job is done. It was a pleasure to educate all the confused ones and bring back unity to the world of rice cooking. Next video we will try to make our own hash without getting caught by the local law enforcement. This will be an interesting challenge because I don't know if I have the right baking pan for that. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Big thanks to all my Patreons and I see you next time. Goodbye.